involved in that. So therefore, this is one of the things that we really invest time, and I think we spend a lot of time conducting programs, often in the form of webinars, to ensure that people understand that. So we've really done a lot of work on this. So the last is a lot of work. So we have a platform. At some point in time, since we don't make that much money in our primary business, and it's always easier to make money in the virtual world, we hope that we can create a portal for glass called Glasset, which is for the glass. We have something like 10,000 members in that. But what is interesting is that this is like your Facebook for the glass community. It connects it up. So our idea is that at some point in time, architects will start to understand, they learn the science of building design from a point of view of facades, because we only understand that. And we hope that they learn the tools of the trade, they use that, they build that in their design, and we are there. So this is something which is really going quite well, and we are seeing that increasingly a huge amount of traction, because we will be able to influence a large number of architects to adopt. So just to give you, there are about 30,000 architects in India today. The last I heard, there are 160 colleges giving architectural degrees. I think architectural degree is given after 5 years, no? Right? I think there the minimum resident time is 5 years, not like the 4 years where you are thrown out here. There, I think they take 5 years to throw out people into the real world. Okay? So I think we do a lot. I think this has been going pretty well. So therefore, this is really the work that we do. The one interesting work that we've done with students, and I think for us the passion has always been students, because the students of architecture today are the future designers, architects, and a whole lot of those things. And I think architecture is a fantastic profession. And there are 156 colleges, the last I heard. We started working with the students and say that, look, in the last year, they worked with us on a project. And we started in a very small way. We had just 83 project submission. And I think you would be surprised by the quality of the projects. Extraordinarily good. And we wonder what we do with them once they come to the companies. I think we just kind of remove all their innovation and other things, and we make them conform to our norms, I think. Because I remember Hafiz Contractor, one of the leading architects, in the first transparency competition, the thing was won by some Mofussil college. A very, very unimpressive pair of a boy and a girl. But the work was outstanding, so they won the prize, and the prize was some 75,000 rupees or something like that. Actually, when we asked, that college has no architecture professors. The entire thing, for 5 years, they have taught by themselves, going to libraries. They're completely self-taught. This college is not far from Chennai, so like many engineering colleges, for 5 years they've not had architecture professors. But this Hafiz was saying, what do we do with these kids? They're so fantastic, they're so bright, they can turn out such fantastic products. What do we do once they come into our companies? How do we make them quickly, duds in our company? But it really was, because he has something like 1,000 architects working in this firm. It's the largest architectural firm, and so there is a huge body of this thing, but the awareness of design, sustainable design, design for green, other things are not available. And today I'm really pleased that we got 26 colleges accepting this as a final year project. I mean, that is, if you submit to the transparency competition which we fund, it becomes a project. So therefore, I think that's the kind of traction that we are having. So just coming back, we're really talking about, I'm just giving an example. I think the most important thing in our businesses is the view of the future, which way the world is going to. And in some sense, you would also discover that, I don't know, some of you may be interested in doing a PhD, right? Is there anybody interested in doing a PhD? Only one. You're in trouble. You're in deep trouble. Okay, I think no one, just one of you. I think your kids are going to be in trouble. Okay, we were lucky because a good part of our guys are here as PhDs. At least I see 1, 2, 3 from my own this thing, I mean around my batch time. So therefore, one of the biggest advice that was given by I think Richard Hamming. I think Richard Hamming is, have you heard of him? Anybody from electronics and telecommunication? Okay, he's the ultimate guru who has probably done more on telecom research and products and things like that. He worked with in the early stages of his career. He was in the era of when the atom bomb was created in the Manhattan Project. He was involved in that. So he said that one of the most important thing is for a good PhD scholar is really you have to be in the right field. It's not the field that you are most interested in. If you're not in the right field, if you don't choose the right field to be in the PhD, and if you don't choose the right problem to solve, you could have the most fantastic dissertation or ideas, but it won't get you too much. So therefore, it's the same thing for us. If you don't have the right view, and that's really the views that we chose, that there are 4 platforms that we have to work on: knowledge and skills, regulation, sustainability, and all of that in a collaborative way. And we really have to establish our credibility today. Today, for instance, it's astonishing that we are often invited by the undersecretary or a joint secretary when they want to take some policy issues. They call us not because we are a large company, but because we have established our credibility by being in the public domain for a long time. And that's going to be a very, very important thing, because at the end of the day, if you're seen as credible, that you're coming up with solutions which are useful, obviously we'll have self-interest in our mind. But if that also has a larger interest of the public and the customers and the way and the nation, then people are willing to work with you. So therefore, this is an extraordinary thing. I think many of this is just work in progress. I've been saying that, but I just want to say one thing. All of that started, it's a work in process. It all started with an article that 3 of us read in 2008. We were worried about our future, worried in the sense that which way to go. The whole thing started with an interesting article. So you don't know how much chance has a role to play in what I'm saying today. So therefore, one of the things that I really believe, and this is almost the end of this thing, is really chance has a huge role to play. A lot of you will ask, what should I do to become so and so? I want to become a CEO. What should I do? I don't think anyone has a clear answer. You just have to create your own chance. And I think chance favors those who are really prepared. We were really prepared. There was this chance, gaps, opportunities available, and you ride those waves. And then there has been an interesting twist on this, I think, which is really a slight twist. I think this is the guy called Johnson, and I forgot his name. He's written a book on creativity. It's called Chance Favors a Connected Mind. Today, it's really a connected world. If you're not connected, if you're not hooked in, and if you're not cutting down your expenses for the next 1 year and buy an iPad today, I think you are in trouble. Okay? You will be a intelligent dinosaur. Okay? So I would urge you to cut all your wasteful expenses and put some money into connected. Okay, you may be connected through a laptop, that's fine, but still, I think walking around with a connection to the world is the best way to do it. I'm not, by the way, an iPad salesman, so I'm just, you can choose a Samsung or a Galaxy Notepad or Akash, right? Akash we had something to do with Akash, right? IIT? Okay. Kalra, right? Okay, Professor Kalra, okay. So, but I thought that they disowned it, no? No? Okay, I mean, I'm only okay. So I think that's what I wanted to say. And I just gave you a view of how we do things, how we look at our future, how we prepare ourselves. So I just want you to remember this, that at the end of the day, it's those right views and the investments that you make and the chances that is really going to make our future. So if you have any questions or anything like that, or your time is out for getting your credits and signing, I leave it to you. So, but I'm quite impressed that in our times, I don't think we could get so many people to listen to anybody. So clearly the millennials are more conforming, or you have some techniques. A syndrome, okay, okay, hyperactive attention deficit syndrome. Okay, thank you. If you have any questions, I'm free. But don't ask me anything technology. I've kind of forgotten it in 1978. So you're ready to take a quiz? If it's my company, I'll ask for a quiz at this point in time. Okay, thank you. There's no one, so. Sure, ma'am.
What is your opinion about FDI? What is the result of this uncertainty? Whether it will lead this factor is more or reliability factor is more in this FDI?
I'm sorry, this FDI thing?
FDI.
Okay, my views are simple. We need FDI because we are a capital starved country and we need FDI. So what is the second question? So that's very clear. There is no capital in this country which can sustain the growth rate that we need. At least we don't have the capital. So therefore we need definitely investments from outside. I think even Raghuram Rajan, who is an IIT Delhi alumnus, he talks about FDI as fundamental for our growth. Yeah. What is the second part of your question?
What will be its output like?
What will be the outcome with the uncertainty? Clearly, I think today.
No, I don't think we don't have money like our own capital. We have our capital, but it's a black money. But even though FDI increases, I think that black money will also increase. So how it is going to help us?
I don't know. I'm not an economist. I think the assumption that we have adequate capital in this country is a wrong assumption. We do not have the adequate capital to grow. Just remember that we are a $1,500 per capita income country. We don't have adequate capital to invest. Today, a lot of our power projects are held up because there is no capital. So let's not have these wrong notions that there is a lot of capital in India. There isn't capital in India. We are a capital starved country. Okay, so that's number one. So the second one is that the black money is actually coming down. In India today, for instance in Chennai, 15 years ago, if you have to go and buy a building, you have to pay 20-25% in cash. Today you can buy any apartment in Chennai paying white. So there is a very, very big shift, even in North where the factor of black money. So I would say that the black money phenomena is coming down. Two reasons. One is that the tax rates have come down in India from the high rates, so therefore there is no incentive. And a lot of people are moving towards compliance. So I would say that the black money is not something which is a serious issue. But let's not have this notion India has got capital. No, we don't have. We need a lot of capital to come in the right kind of capital. That's really the choice of the thing. So therefore, I want this to be very clear. We don't have capital to invest for our infrastructure, for our airports, for our roads, for our ports, for many things we don't have the capital. So maybe Raghuram Rajan will be able to answer this better, but I'm very clear about it. Okay. Yeah. Solar segment, there are two. Basically, there is the biggest segment now is power plants. So India is trying to encourage power producers. So there are two ways in which India is putting it. What it does is that there is a law, I don't know whether it will be implemented, which says starting from I think 2010 or 11, 0.5% of any power producer has to generate a certain percentage of this through solar, and that is supposed to go all the way to 3% in 2020 or 22. I don't remember the exact thing. That means every year it will go up by some 0.5, 0.75, 1, 2, 3. I think it is 2022. So that means 3% of the power plants have to have solar as a thing.